Rashad, why you
Anyway.
didn't hit me up?
What's up, Rashad? Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
Brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.
Yo, what's happening, man? What's up? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Rashad Milligan. If you are new to the channel, this is the Road to 10K subs, man. Such a great day. Such a great day to be great. Such a great day to make videos. I don't know, man. It's a great day to have a great day. And I'm glad that each and every single one of you are watching this right now under the sound of my voice or whatever the case. Whoever brought you here, the algorithm or whatever. But that being said, it is 30 seconds into the video and I'm just yapping about nothing. And if you're watching this about De'Aaron Fox, this is the first time I even mentioned his name. 40 seconds in. So I appreciate your patience, first of all. And let's get into it. De'Aaron Fox. He has signed a massive extension. To be more specific, a max extension, a max contract, right, with the San Antonio Spurs. 4 years, $229 million, according to Clutch Sports CEO Rich Paul. Goodness gracious. It secures his future in San Antonio through the 2029-30 season. Now, remember, Luka went 3 years, 150. De'Aaron went the full 4 years, 229, 230. Hawks have no leverage now. If you want to give Trae Young, you know, oh, Trae, I don't want to give you the max. I don't want to. With Luka, you had a little more wiggle room. Okay, we could give you the max for 3 years. We ain't going to give you the max for 5 years, Trae. What you want to do, Ice Trae? So Trae say, okay, I want the max. I still want the max. I guess I'll both of us just be sitting here in silence until we get what we want. Okay. De'Aaron Fox come and get a max 4 years. All leverage is out the window. All leverage is out the window. Trae's agent. See, De'Aaron Fox. You think he's better than De'Aaron Fox? I know you think he's better than De'Aaron Fox. It's cooked. The market's cooked. First of all, congratulations to De'Aaron Fox. Second of all, congrats to De'Aaron Fox, because I already said my first of all thing. Congratulations to the Fox, man. Shouts out to San Antonio. And the Spurs fan said it like this. De'Aaron Fox max contract will expire the year after Stefan's Castle first extended season in the same year that Dylan Harper's first year of his extension eligibility. Chill with the overreactions and doomsday scenarios, LMAO. Spurs are a top 4 seed in the West. This is pretty much saying as his first contract expires or as his max contract expires, all the young guys, Dylan Harper and Stefan Castle, the reigning rookie of the year and a projected top guy to be in contention for rookie of the year this year, they will both be up for their first extension. So if he falls off a little bit, he doesn't have to be a max guy again in 4 years. He could be a guy that's a little less money if he wants to stay in San Antonio with the young guys who will be probably all-star level, De'Aaron Fox level in 4 years. So we'll see what happens, man. Definitely with Wemby, of course, his health. Is Wemby going to stay healthy? What does Wemby's health look like? Does it look something like a Joel Embiid where you get him where you could take him and you go from there? Is it something where his injuries were just freak injuries the first couple of years and he'll be okay with some more muscle and some more conditioning, getting the NBA running up and down the pace of the game? We'll see what happens, man. We will definitely see what happens with that. Speaking of Joel Embiid, it's sounding like it ain't sounding good. I hope Buddy can get better. You know, someone who loves the game like that, who worked from so much, first working from being an underdog, coming into Kansas, working his way up with Kansas and becoming a two-man tandem with Andrew Wiggins, becoming the number 3 pick. Everybody expecting him to be a bust. Him tearing his ACL out the gate after the draft and missing his whole first season and people thinking he was going to be a bust again. He made jokes a bunch of times about Rihanna and marrying Rihanna and stuff, and he slid into the DMs, and Rihanna or some celebrity told Joel Embiid, get back to me when you're an all-star. And not only did he get back from his ACL tear and become an all-star and become one of the better rookies of his class and things of that sort, he ended up becoming one of the best players in the league, one of the best players of his time. And if he had more time to do what he did, say if Joel Embiid's peak, if he did that consecutively for 5 to 6, 7 seasons, I'd say 7 at the most, right? 5 to 7 seasons, hands down talking about one of the greatest players of all time. And it's a sad thing that his career is going the way that it's going. It's looking like he's kind of winding down at the age of 30. I just wish the best for his mental health and his family and, just him for sure, because the game's a better place with Joel Embiid in it. I know people hate him because, he falls so much and he flops when people touch his hip when he shoots a jump shot. But I'd like the way, like, his trash talk, him being the villain, embracing the antagonist label. All of those things just make Joel Embiid. His love for Philly, it is a match made in heaven, Joel Embiid in Philadelphia. So shouts out to the process. Basketball's better with you, and get better, sir. With that being said, I hope Wemby doesn't have a fate like Joel Embiid's. We'll see what happens with it. But shouts out to De'Aaron Fox once again. He has his pieces now. He, as in Wemby, he has Fox locked in. He has the reigning Rookie of the Year, Dylan Harper. And, of course, you still have those other guys coming off the bench, the Vassell's and the Keldon Johnsons. I believe Keldon Johnson, those guys are still on there. Hold on, let me check. Make sure folks ain't get traded now. Yeah, folks is still on San Antonio. Shouts out to Devin Vassell, Atlanta boy. You know what I mean? I think he's Peachtree Corners or something like that. What high school? Yeah, Peachtree Ridge. He went to Peachtree Ridge. Shouts out to Gwinnett County, Dunalf. Yeah. Shouts out to Lou Will. Anyways, yeah, that's all I really wanted to say on De'Aaron Fox. Oh, it's one more note. Just in general with basketball, bro. De'Aaron Fox at 27 has passed Chris Paul in guaranteed career earnings. Huh? What? Chris Paul was all the way at 20? Jeez Louise. De'Aaron Fox is at 19, dog. Jaylen Brown is 18. Goodness gracious. Man, these prices, bro. $500 million. Yeah, that's $500 million for Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid, Paul George, Devin Booker, Steph Curry, and LeBron. Oh, Lord, I'm about to pass out. That's crazy. But anyways, yeah. So Luka's right here. Gobert's right here. Holiday, Carl's Many Towns, Chris Paul, and De'Aaron Fox. That's kind of wild. What a time to be alive and good at basketball. 100%. Don't tap the glass. What's happening, Wolf? Wolf is in the building. Wolf. What's happening, Bo? All right, next, man. Black marriage statistics. And this is from Shayla. Shouts out to Shayla, my dog over in San Francisco. Shouts out to Shayla. But yeah. She said right here, because this girl, it all started with Danny Lou on Twitter, who's like a tech person and stuff. And she said, there's this belief that rich, successful black men twirl for some reason. Hold on, I want to see this. I'm so happy that no one has ever successfully indoctrinated me with the belief that black men of a certain education level or socioeconomic status wouldn't be interested in dating me. Y'all really do have incredibly low racial self-esteem. This started because someone said they saw the Red Lobster CEO at a bar with a white girl. That started a whole conversation on Twitter of like, of course he has a white girl. And they said, well, he's from Cornell. He's just a product of his environment. What's behind him and stuff. So then she said there's this belief that all the rich, successful black men swirl for some reason. People see a few celebrities and influencers do it and think that's everyone. LOL. So odd. So then Shayla said 85% of college-educated black men marry black women. Nearly the same percentage of black men earning over 100K are also married to black women. And then she dropped the link just in case you wanted to know where she got it from, because people just be tweeting sometimes. So this is from the Harvard Kennedy School, the Student Policy Review. Where are the brothers? Okay, what a headline. How the continued erasure of black men's voices on the marriage question perpetuates the black male deficit. This is by Joy L. Hightower. This was written in April 25th, 2016, so nearly 10 years ago. In 2009, Lindsay Davis, a black female correspondent for ABC News, wrote a feature for an article for Nightline. She had one question. Why are successful Black women the least likely to date any other race to marry? Her story went viral, sparking a national debate. Within a year, social media, newsrooms, self-help books, Black television shows, and films were ablaze with commentary that were integrated with the increasing trend of never married middle-class Black women. The conclusions of this debate were elusive at best, mostly muddied by different opinions about the conflicting relationship desires of Black women and Black men. But the debate made one thing clear: the controversy about the declining rates of Black marriage is a middle class issue, and more specifically, a problem for Black women. Middle class Black men only center a specter of Black women singleness. Their voices are largely muted in the conversation. This opinion piece challenges the gendered media portrayal for foregoing the neglected perspectives of middle-class Black men that are drowned out by the hysteria that surrounds professional Black women singleness. I argue that when middle-class men enter the debate, they do so much in a way that was the way of their lower-class brethren. Their failure to marry Black women. Middle-class and lower-class Black men alike have suffered a radical unaliving. A popular 2015 New York Times article proclaims that, quote unquote, 1.5 million Black men are, quote unquote, missing from everyday life experiences due to incarceration and related unalivings. This persuasive explanation of Black men's disappearance, quote unquote, knows no class variation. Despite changing social mores regarding the later marriage entry across social groups, middle-class Black men are described as, quote unquote, missing from the marriage markets of Black women. In this way, media narratives link the strength of Black men to their marriageability. Black men's relationships decisions, when and whom they marry, have been singled out as a cause of the declining Black marriage rates. Black men's higher rates of interracial marriage are linked to the, quote unquote, new marriage squeeze, Crowder and Tonley 2000, which identifies the difficulty for professional Black women to seek to marry Black women of the same ilk. Because of this, quote unquote, squeeze in his book, Is Marriage for White People? Stanford law professor Richard Branks, 2011, recommends that middle-class Black women should emulate the middle-class Black men who allegedly marry outside of their race. Such a suggestion prods at one of the most debated cultural insecurities of Black America, namely the angst of Black men's patterns of interracial relationships. Indeed, it is true. Middle-class Black men marry outside their race and do so twice as often as Black women. However, the statistic fails to take into account the majority of middle-class Black men marry Black women. 85% of college-educated Black men are related to Black women, and nearly the same percent of married Black men with salaries over $100,000 are married to Black women. Black women are not, quote unquote, all the single ladies, despite the attempts to make the two groups synonymous. The media's perpetuation of the dismal statistics trend about Black marriage obscures the entangled roots of white racism, namely its production of intraracial quails as a mechanism of control. For example, the riveting 2009 finding that 42% of Black women are unmarried made its media rounds while mysteriously unaccompanied by the similar 2010 statistic that 48% of Black men have never been married. This quote-unquote finding also dismissed the fact that Black men and Black women marry, though later in the life cycle. But it is no coincidence that the rhetoric pits Black men and Black women against one another. It's century-old plantation logic that now permeates contemporary media narratives about Black intimacy. Black women's interpretation of this debate, that there are not of quote-unquote qualified, degreed, at least median level income earning Black men to marry, prevails over what these men think about the marital prospects. As a consequence, we lack adequate knowledge on how this debate has affected the stance of middle-class Black men on the marriage question. My research explores my issues by drawing on in-depth interviews with 80 middle-class Black men between the ages of 25 to 55 about their views on marriage. First, do middle-class Black men desire marriage? They want a committed relationship, but are not necessarily thinking marriage right away. This finding supports a recent collaborative study among NPR, the Robert Wood Foundation, and the Harvard School of Public Health that finds Black men are more likely to say that they're looking for a long-term relationship, 43%, than Black women, 25%. My qualitative analysis provides the quote-unquote why to this statistical trend. Respondents revealed that some of their dating and relationship experiences, they felt the women were trying to accomplish the goal of marriage. These experiences left them feeling that their resume was more important than who they were as men. for middle-class black men, having a wife is a component of success, but not an exclusive goal of it, as they felt that they were often the case of black women who they dated. Second, how does class status shape what black men consider qualified? Respondents felt educational attainment was more important to the women they dated than it was to them. They valued women's intelligence over their credentials. They conceded that their educational credentials attracted women, yet their resume of accomplishments overshadowed any genuine interest. Oh, that's deep. That's deep. Wow. On the whole, men held the assumption that they will ultimately meet someone who is educated, if simply because of their social network, but education achievement was not a driving force of their relationship decisions. There was a slight intra-class caveat. For men who grew up in middle class or attended elite institutions themselves, but were not necessarily from a middle class background. For these men, educational attainment was a strong preference. My preliminary analysis demonstrates that incorporating black men's perspectives into our discussions about marriage allows for the passing of black men and black women's perspectives about what it means to be, quote unquote, marriageable. Middle-class black men's perspectives about the hodgepodge of mismatched wants and timings between them and black women moves beyond dominant explanations that emphasize the quote-unquote deficit and economic shortcomings of black men. The erasure of black men's voices threatens to uphold the one-sided gender debate about declining black marriage rates and perpetuates a distorted understanding that the marriage question among both black men and black women. So there you have it. There you have it. All in all, to say that it ain't black men's fault about so-and-so, and they actually do marry black women at a rate that you would think so when they reach a particular level. But there are multiple reasons why things don't work out. If you want someone, quote unquote, on your level, you might get someone on your level, but then you just, after a while, realize, I'm only dating this girl because she has a master's degree. I'm only dating this girl because she makes $100,000. I'm only dating this girl because she makes around the same amount of money I have. And I know she's not going to be dependent on me to just provide for every single thing, pay all our bills and pay all our meals and this and that. And then before I know it, I'm like, man, I miss so-and-so. You know why? Because so-and-so, even though they, I had to pay for everything and I had to help them with this or that, they were fun to be around. And we had a lot in common. I don't know. Love, romance, huh? Okay, next up is Jeremy Hecht. Jeremy Hecht, of course, a journalist from The Bigger Picture and just a good journalist, hip-hop journalist, and rapper, Christian rapper as well. He's Jewish and he's speaking out against the right in Gaza after Doechii this past weekend at a Lollapalooza after party wore Palestine colors and screamed Free Palestine as she came out on the stage. Here we go.
Talk about Gaza. On stage at Lollapalooza, while showing support for Palestinians who are currently starving, Doechii said this.
Y'all can't be scared to stand up for what you believe in. You can't be scared to say what matters.
And it's in my heart to do just that. But for a while, I was scared to say something. Growing up Jewish, you're told that criticizing Israel is a threat to anti-Semitism and even a threat to the state itself. But after what I've witnessed over the last couple of years, I've completely lost trust in that statement and in that government. The tactics being employed by the Israeli government to push an entire people out of their land with nowhere to go is the definition of ethnic cleansing. And far-right Israeli minister Bezalel Smotrich said that this was the plan as little as 5 days ago. When speaking of resettlements in Gaza, he said, "For 20 years, we called it wishful thinking. It seems to me it is now a real working plan." And as someone who's Jewish with a platform, I feel more pressure to speak up now more than ever, because I don't want the world thinking that we're all complicit or that we all unilaterally agree with the atrocities going on there. You know who I do trust? Jon Stewart.
I feel like I'm watching something that is so self-evidently inhumane and horrific. And to be told that I have to shut up because I risk the Jewish state by speaking out, I would say the opposite. I think they're putting the likelihood of a surviving Jewish state much more at risk with this type of action. Right now in the situation, we can't be like, but Jews are not getting along with other Jews. Like, that's not the important thing right now. Absolutely. How is the world not stepping in?
And Bernie Sanders.
I ain't gonna lie, it might be GG's for this live, y'all. Oh no, not back-to-back days. They about to pack me out of here. Daily Show don't play that, man. They do not play that.
There is no military purpose in starving thousands and thousands of children. Let's be clear. This is not an effort to win a war. This is an effort to destroy a people.
Or how about the Israeli Physicians for Human Rights who labeled this as a genocide? Or Yassine Bey, aka Mos Def.
If you don't see that and see the clear, unnecessary evil, then woe unto you in this life and beyond. God's people are godly and they're everywhere. They're not just in one tribe.
Or more importantly, the Palestinian children.
Not my problem. That's just, and I'm not saying this about what's going on. I'm saying this because it's Mos Def. If you know, you know. His daughter Layla, not my problem. If you know, you know.
Tribe.
Or more importantly, the Palestinian children on the ground who don't have access to adequate food, water, or health resources. If these kids are able to walk miles with the opportunity to potentially get this food, not even guaranteed sometimes, then they may be risking their life. A former Gaza aid contractor said that he witnessed innocent, hungry Palestinians being fired at while trying to get food. Former U.S. Green Beret, which is an Army Special Forces soldier who was in Gaza helping distribute aid at a food distribution site, had this to say.
In my most frank assessment, I would say that they're criminal. In my entire career, have I never witnessed the level of brutality and use of indiscriminate and unnecessary force against a civilian population, an unarmed, starving population.
On October 7th, Hamas committed an atrocity that brutally took the lives of over 1,200 people, including 364 of whom died trying to enjoy a music festival.
SSB was hanging, brother.
Dozens of those. I cannot even imagine
what the heck?
The atrocity that
everybody coming.
And I know for the parents of those kids, nothing will make up for the loss of life. This act is incomprehensible and indefensible. But since that horrific day, over 60,000 Palestinians have died, including 18,000 or more children. 162 people have died of starvation, and 92 children at the time of this recording. In fact, just hours ago, a 17-year-old boy died of starvation. And as of right now, according to UNICEF, more than 320,000 children are at risk of malnutrition. And Gaza is now the place with the most child amputees.
Oh yeah, I seen you watched some of the videos from the last night live. They took out the last night live, man. SSB said he been busy. Man, SSB, man, folks been missing you. I ain't gonna lie. I miss you a little bit, SSB. No, you know what I'm saying? Paul, you feel me? But I miss my dog a little bit, man. I miss my dogs, man. We got Zero and SSB at the same time. We almost all the way back. You know, we got the third link that we still, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm glad y'all boys good, though.
It is disgusting. And on top of all of this, they aren't letting in international journalists to properly document the situation. Suppression of the press would be a direct violation of the First Amendment for all the free speech folks out there. When you become the same monsters that you're trying to protect against, then you've completely lost sight of the moral line. And as a people who have experienced atrocities against us as Jewish people, we would want people to be there to speak out for us. And I also recognize anti-Semitism is a real problem, but calling it anti-Semitic to criticize the government of Israel makes the problem of anti-Semitism worse, because you're saying that all Jews are aligned with this atrocity, which isn't the case, which is why I feel that we need to speak out. My heart was breaking and I felt the need to say something. But absolutely nothing, in my opinion, can justify any of these actions. If there are repercussions to this specific video, then like the clip said, so be it. I hope that the remaining hostages are able to be returned home safely to their families. I personally believe that it's okay to hold that view and also call out what's happening right now, which is a genocide in Gaza. I truly hope from the bottom of my heart that we can see a ceasefire, that we can see adequate aid, food, and medical supplies make their way properly into Gaza, whatever that takes, and that we can end the loss of life. Because no matter where you sit politically, no matter what your views are, no matter what your beliefs are, every child's life matters. The more lives that we can save, the better we are as humanity.
So speak out on Israel registering as a foreign. There's a journalist named Seymour Hersh, and he said that the U.S. and Israel is committed to Iran regime change. Hey. All I gotta say is always, man, free Palestine, free Gaza, free the Congo. You know what I mean? But yeah. Seymour Hersh. Let me see. I'm gonna take a quick detour. Let me see. Let's see what's going on. Smoke. So be it. Is it Hersh with the H? This guy with the Pulitzer? Yeah, I think it's Hersh. What's Hersh saying? He defends reporting on the U.S. destruction of the Nord Stream. Let me see. Oh, yeah. That's him. Look up the Greater Israel expansion in the Middle East. Greater Israel expansion, Middle East. But the Seymour Hersh dude, he's a Pulitzer guy, a Pulitzer, and like you say, he's still kicking at 90 with the hit. I know he know what he's talking about, huh?
This image was widely shared online, supposedly showing an Israeli soldier wearing a patch representing Greater Israel, which encompasses neighboring countries such as Urdun, Lebanon, parts of Iraq, Saudi, and Masr.
God's not saying, let's make a deal. He's saying, this is the deal. This is the property they have. This is Israel right now.
Oh, man.
And this is what will happen whenever the Messiah comes back.
John Hagee's one of the biggest figures. He's invited to White House events. He's invited to U.S. embassy openings. Imagine if a Muslim was saying this stuff.
Imagine if a Muslim says, it's like, we need to destroy Israel. And then the next day, he's hosted by the president of Egypt.
Imagine a college kid on campus is saying, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. We're told that's genocide. This guy is proposing wiping out multiple countries in the Middle East.
The concept of Greater Israel originates from interpretations from the Zionist ideology.
Hold on. The camera froze up. Give me a second. The camera froze up. My face was making expressions and stuff. I ain't seen none of it. Hold on. Let me get it right. Technical difficulties. We got mad people in here. What's happening, everybody? I hope everybody had a good day. Come on, camera. We ain't doing this all day now. I'm gonna switch to this one in the meantime. I'm gonna switch to the laptop joint. All right, bet.
Particularly championed by revisionist Zionists who later formed the Likud party, now led by the Prime Minister Netanyahu. This ideology aims to establish meaning the Holy Land of Israel.
My dog. Game Day Grace is in the building. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the Game Day Grace podcast right now. My brothers, David Shealy, Corey Moles. Huh? Yeah.
Or Greater Israel, asserting the promised land stretches from the Nile in Masr to Al-Furat in Iraq. The Likud party isn't the only party that believes in a Greater Israel.
Eventually, our borders will extend from Lebanon, the Great Desert, which is Saudi Arabia, and then from the Mediterranean to the Euphrates. And who's on the other side of the Euphrates? The Kurds. And the Kurds are our friends. So we have the Mediterranean behind us, the Kurds in front of us, Lebanon, which really needs the umbrella of protection of Israel. And then I believe we're going to take Mecca, Medina, and Mount Sinai and purify those places.
In 2023, former finance minister of Israel, Bezalel Smotrich, showed another image of Greater Israel, including parts of Al-Urdun and parts of Syria. Settlements, which are illegal under international law, are a tool for expansion and occupation of the land. Settlements were established in strategic areas like Wadi al-Urdun to enhance Israel's security and negotiation stance. Some settlers are driven by religious beliefs. seeing the land as part of biblical Israel. Others are drawn by lower living costs and government subsidies, making housing in settlements more affordable than in Israel.
I think that settlements prevent the establishment of a Palestinian state in the land of Israel. This is the goal and this is the reality.
The pursuit of Greater Israel, including illegal settlements and other Israeli laws that discriminate against Palestinians, have faced criticism for marginalizing the indigenous Palestinian population and undermining principles of justice, equality, and human rights.
They were ordered to populate this land by no less an authority than God.
This is the mission of our generation. The most important point is this: to hold strong to the soil of the Holy Land.
Sorry, let me go back.
This image was
Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff, but like y'all say, the U.S. if they got their hand tied, if they got their hand, hey, you better get up out there. It's too late now. Them folks is merged together. But like Jeremy said, hold on. But before I even move on this, right? Jeremy, he said something very important. He was like, if anybody knows about fighting for against what's wrong and everything like that, being oppressed communities and things of that sort, it's the Jewish people. I remember once again going back to Jimmy Atchison, right? Jimmy Atchison joint. There we go. I'm back. Jimmy Atchison at the prayer visual that I covered for that entire thing. And shouts out to Jimmy Hill's dad, who's still fighting in Fulton County with the DA, Fonnie Willis, still trying to get a retrial, still trying to get something done so he can get some type of lick of justice and peace for his son, for his slain son from the APD police department. That's repetitive. Anyways, at the event, at the prayer circle, there was a rabbi there. And he pointed out afterwards, he said, the rabbi has consistently been at these events, supporting my son and fighting for justice for my son. All of the black local pastors, the mega churches, Atlanta has the most black mega churches in America. I'm not sure if that's a fact, but off top, I think that sounds about right? And he says, none of them have been out there as consistently as that rabbi has. And so that was just like, man, much due respect to the Jewish community and people like that. Like Jeremy said right here, he said it's not all Jews. It's like a form of anti-Semitism to be like, yeah, all Jews are just with the whole thing that's going on in Gaza and the attack for this and that and all that stuff, right? And so it's just I don't know. It was nice to see Jeremy speak out on this and make a 5.5-minute video on it, speak into detail about it, and just address it and draw the line in the sand because it's something uncomfortable to say. We saw the thing with Danny Avdia. Like I said, the Israelis and Danny's fans are like some of the people that helped build this channel 4 years ago and stuff like that. So to kind of have that moment where I'm like, dang, Danny, like, why you had to say it like this and that? It was very awkward, but just it's a conversation that you have to draw a line in the sand. You can't stand neutral with things like this and things of that sort, unless you're the journalist just covering it and you're out in the field and everything like that. But yeah, let me see. SSB said Greater Israel is basically have America and Iran fighting each other. Then they take over once the dust clears and the whole region is a mess. This way, the multipolar world, they control that region. Fact zero. Oh yeah, y'all both saying the same thing about the controlling the region and everything like that in Iran. I don't care whether it's all Jews or some, they profit off our struggles. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So Drew. I combine zero and Jews. All right. So with this, there are a lot of exploitive practices that people of a particular background have had with Black people, mostly in America, specifically in the entertainment industry. And why I speak on the entertainment industry so much directly, whatever, because that's the industry I work in. so that's what I see the most is the entertainment industry. So there is merit to what Zero's saying. I still like what Jeremy said here as a person of that, background. I still appreciate it. There's Jews who still live on my street. They're not doing no crazy stuff like this. I think Zionists is no different than. Oh yeah. Zionists are different from regular Jewish people, 100%. So he's just pretty much just splitting it up. Like there's Jews and then there's Zionists that are like, yeah, we IDF, all that stuff. So it was disappointing, like the way that the entire Danny split happened. I'm not even gonna lie to you because I thought I was gonna be someone like I was gonna be rocking with, and like his fan base and his people back home, we was all gonna be a thing, but life happened. October 7th happened, and it just happened, man. SSB Zionists are mixed Jews, mostly with German descent. Zionists are the ones who worked with Hitler on the Havana Agreement. Do you think that America is gonna become more racist? But I think the way America is going, it will become more racist? I don't know if it's more racist than it was before. Now, I think if anything, it's just more loud. It's just more public than it was a few years ago, and I think that is because Donald Trump, like Donald Trump not being a politician, like when he first ran, right? Remember in 2016, he didn't even say he was a politician until like 8 months before the election. And he said it at a rally. He was like, oh, well, I guess, I am a politician now. And then he became the president of the United States. So I think his entire approach of people being like, I like him because he's not a politician, and things he was saying, it was just so crazy, bro. And it was a turn, like when he said it. And then it became normalized when Trump was going for 4 years with Biden, because like Trump's propaganda worked. It was like woke. Like he flipped the words woke of like stay woke to like understand the civil issues going on right now. He turned that into, I don't know, annoying liberals. It was like the whole thing. It was weird. Everyone is already racist and has racial bias. People have so much chest now. Don't blame Trump because this was going on before him. Definitely not at this level, though. Definitely not at this level. He said going back to the early 1900s. Okay, well, I mean, if you count like that, yes. But I'm talking about in modern times. I'm talking about from the 90s, 1990s, all the way up to now. Like the most outward, like people just saying stuff out loud and, people throwing up the Hitler sign and everything like that. All that's like that got the worst has been in the last 30 years, these past 5 years. Because like I said, Trump was first elected. That kind of softened it a little bit when Trump was out of office for 4 years, and it was Biden. That's when the whole turn happened and it became normalized. And then now it's just like, it's no control of it. So I think if anything, it's just becoming more loud. That's it. That's all it is. It's becoming more loud, but as Zero says, it's always been racist. So I'll say that. And speaking of that's like the next thing too. Trump gave hella people the green light to get disrespectful publicly. 100% SSB. That's what I'm saying. He said go back to the early 1900s, and then that's what we're speaking on. Okay, all right. Speaking of that, Kendrick Perkins had a take. He said that the adversity that players face today with social media is worse than what the NBA players back in like the Bill Russell days had to face. Before I even press play of this 1 minute and 48-second clip from Road Trippin', shout out Road Trippin', shout out Richard Jefferson, even though I still don't like you from when you dubbed me as a kid. I'll say no, bro. Like Bill Russell, they went to Bill Russell's house and vandalized his home when the Celtics were on the road. They spray painted the N-word with the hard ER everywhere. They ruined his stuff. when they went on the road to eat, some members of the team had to eat inside. He had to eat in the car, or like the team would be like, we're not eating if we can't eat together as a team. Like it was like that. So because of that, the basic things like we can't even eat together as a team because I'm black. We can't even do this because I'm black. We can't even do that. I think the simple things like that we take for granted on a day-to-day basis, by that alone, this time period with social media, sticks and stones may break my words will never hurt me. I deal with, because I obviously speak about a lot of racial issues and societal stuff and everything like that, commentary on here. I deal with the most extreme comments on a daily basis. On a video, the Lily Gaddis reaction was like 3 months ago. I get comments on that every single day, 3-4 months later, and they are the most unthinkable things. I'm like, oh my goodness, how did YouTube allow this? Right? So because of that, right? And Zero said he's guilty of leaving crazy comments. But Zero, like, but you my dog though. You know what I'm saying? You my dog though. So it's like I know y'all type deal. Or at least on the comment side. So when you be saying crazy stuff, it's like, oh, there goes Zero again. Like SSB is saying crazy. Just SSB, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's different. But when they be saying like the crazy stuff or whatever, and it started to bog you down. Like if I'm in the crib and I'm on my YouTube app on my phone, and I'm just like, say I have an hour before I had to go somewhere, and I'm just responding to comments or something like that, and I get sucked up into it, that drains my energy, bro. That drains my energy, dog. And I'm just like, these people can't just see what I see. And then you know what? I put my phone in my pocket. I put my laptop on sleep mode, close the laptop. I go outside, talk to some people. And I'm so busy that the only time I'm even checking my phone is to text someone back, check my email, check the schedule, do some busy work or whatever. And then if I'm walking, put in my earbuds, put on some music. I just walk through the city, see what's going on, see what's happening, run my errands, whether it's going to the grocery store, going to the restaurant, whatever the heck I'm doing, or just getting some fresh air and taking a walk. And I feel better. So I say all that to say, if you're getting bullied on social media, bro, just put the phone in your pocket, man. Like this, turn off the screen. That's all you got to do. That's what Tyler Creator said. Cyberbullying is so stupid. Literally, just turn off the screen, bro. It doesn't exist in real life. Everybody in real life is nice to you, dog. White people, black people, even if they're racist in their heart and stuff like that, on the surface, if you say what's up to most folks is going to say what's up back, or they at least going to wave at you. And if they don't, it ain't going to hurt your feelings as much, because it's like, we ain't know each other to begin with. I'm going to keep walking. You're going to keep walking your way. So I say all that to say that, man. So no, not even close. The social media era is as bad as the racism. Like what? Come on, Perk.
In Boston. So my question to you guys is, should off-court adversity factor into these debates? Should we be looking just beyond stats? Thoughts. Perk, we'll start with you.
Here's my thing. I would never take what the guys, Bill Russells, and what they had to go through for us to be able to perform at a high level, Allie, or even be in the NBA, right? For the NBA.
Look at Richard face. Richard looking like, buddy. What is he about to say, bro?
NBA to even exist. I wasn't there. But I will say everyone's had their own form of adversity. Back then, it was racism and death threats, right? But having to battle through the adversity of fucking social media as a player elevates right up into that when you talk about
look at Richard. Look at Richard. He's like, no.
Mental toughness.
He equating. Now remember me, what I just said at the beginning. They broke into Bill Russell's house when they was on the road, smashed his windows, vandalized his home, spray painted on the outside over and over, Nigger, all over his house. Kendrick Perkins right now is comparing that to a random 21-year-old college student DMing Lonzo Ball on Instagram after a game and saying, bro, you couldn't get me 2 more rebounds?
Nah, Richard, hear me out. I get it. Like, people lives were on the line, but like mental health is a real thing. And like we see so many guys logging off of social media, right? John Wall like talked about like I wanted to commit suicide. Like it's a real thing. So everybody's affected.
You don't think anybody in the history of the NBA ever had those thoughts? They probably did. They just didn't have a podcast to tell people, hey guys, in the middle of my NBA career, I had these thoughts.
In a different way. I'm not trying to put the two together. All I'm saying is this day and age, a lot of these guys are dealing with their own form of adversity, right? And people could say, oh, they just soft or stay off of social media. How fucking hard it is to stay off of social media.
Not that hard.
I want to know.
Richard said not that hard. Groundbreaking concept. Books. And I know it's ironic coming from me, the most chronically online person that I know. But I make money on here. That's just how I make my money.
Motherfucker, you go glance at social media at least one time a day. RJ?
I'm not disputing that.
There was a tsunami.
It's a difference though between scrolling on social media one time a day. Say like, okay, I'm gonna go on Instagram, see what's popping, just look at it for a second, then go to the next app, scroll on it, see for a second. You can do all that in 15, 30 minutes. And that's if you see some videos or reels or shorts that you into, and then, or at least I'm just speaking from my perspective, that it's just like funny. I'm like, oh, okay, this is engaging, this is entertaining. Dang, there goes 30 minutes. You can get off without like, because the little notification bell, like it annoys me on every app, the little red thing and stuff like that. So I got to click on that just to get it out the way. I don't have to read what it says, because a lot of time, especially if it's like I've been out all day and then I go see my phone and I got like so-and-so comments, I can't read all that stuff, bro. I don't have the time. I got to prepare for the next show the next night. So it's just like, despite like what Kendrick said, you can be on, you know what I'm saying? You can scroll on social media. You don't have to read every single comment, because when you're busy and doing other stuff, you don't have time to read all the comments. So yeah, that's it. That's it, bro. But yeah. This is crazy take from Kendrick, bro. Crazy take from Kendrick. He tried, but it's like that was pretty disrespectful to the late great Bill Russell. And you know, like what you guys were saying, Bird and Magic, they was mad at this and that, and what Jordan had to go through. It made me think of Hank Aaron, obviously. Hank Aaron, it was darn near like what? Like it's like a civil rights movement for him just to play baseball, bro. to break a record. When she was just like, he wasn't even no power home run hitter hitting 70 home run. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Why Perkins want to be a victim? I feel like every generation, every era wants to be the biggest, the baddest. They all want to be the biggest. Like, it's like, you ever meet someone like in another city and they tell you where they from and they hood the biggest and the baddest? Zero said Jackie Robinson, 100% Jackie Robinson. But like, yeah, like I said, like Hank Aaron, bro, Roberto Clemente. Rest in peace of Roberto Clemente. Rest in peace Jackie Robinson. Rest in peace Hank Aaron. But it's like, Hank Aaron, he's not even a home run, you know what I'm saying? Like a 70 home run slugger, everything like that. He just happened to break Babe Ruth record just off the string, just being cool, bro. Like being a great baseball player, all around player. He just happened to break the record. These folks treating him like he was about to like, I'm enslaving all the white folks. Like, anyways, I'm getting off track. But yeah, back to this. I met someone when I was out of town earlier this summer. And he was from somewhere else, and we were just talking. And then I told him I just moved somewhere new, And I was like, I really stay in the crib because all the locals told me like be careful and this and that. I really just be doing YouTube and I go out for work and events like that, but I really be staying to myself. He said, man, go ahead, bro. Like it ain't no different than Atlanta. You got to do this, do that. And then he said, everybody hood swear they hood the biggest and the baddest. I said, you know what? You right. I ain't gonna lie. Everybody does think they got the most dangerous spot. Everybody think their generation is the toughest. Oh, my generation, we had to walk to school. We had to walk to work. We had to work for $7.25. We had to work for $6.25. The minimum wage back then was $5.50. Like everybody just had the toughest, roughest. If you've been in band or any sport, right, that you played outdoors, like if you ran cross country, you played football, you did band, you did basketball. All those summer workouts, 100% exaggerated from what the kids have now. And the reason why the workouts are adjusted now in the summer for the kids is because kids kept dying. Heat exhaustion. That's why they changed it for safety reasons. They want kids to keep dying. But anyway, like they'd be like, oh yeah, we was out there in the field. We was out there practicing from 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. We was doing it. Everybody always going to say that, bro. Dating apps are cancer. Today's sports media is more opinion reporting than they could be talking about the WNBA and other sports instead of talking about this BS. This is why all of the shows aren't as big. Dating apps don't work. It's yeah. So with that, bro, Zero, you bring up great points because Bill Simmons came up with that whole thing last week. I can't really get too much into this because no. But he came into the last thing of like, how about we move New Orleans to so-and-so? And it's like, dog, if you got 100 days of the NBA all season and you podcast twice a week and your podcast is exclusively about the NBA, what are you going to talk about in the middle of those 100 days? You can only talk about free agency and future trading for so much. So then you got to start making up stuff. And that's how you get a take like this from Kendrick Perkins. Kendrick, he got Road Tripping, his own show under Road Tripping, which is like talking with Perk. I watched an episode and what's happening? Lady Candle Sparkle. Excuse me, my bad. Is this a Sparkle I know? If you are, salute. If you're not, welcome to the channel. But yeah. Dang, I got thrown off. But people, they just, what are you going to talk about? So yeah, talk about the sports, bro. Anyways, we're going to get to the next thing. An Atlanta man has vanished. After dating app meetup in Florida, weeks later, his remains were found. Oh my goodness, I didn't even read the headline. I seen SSB talk about it and stuff like that. My bad, SSB. I was like, the Clay County Sheriff's Office in Florida identified Nicholas Anderson remains on Friday. Oh my goodness. His remains were found in May. Jeez Louise. It's by Chase Howell. A young Georgia man disappeared after traveling to Florida to meet someone he met on a dating app. He was found unalive weeks later, leaving his family desperate for answers and clinging on to the memories of his vibrant spirit. Goodness gracious. Rest in peace to that young man. Nicholas Anderson's family said he was the glue that held them together. And in one of his last videos, the 24-year-old was seen dancing in the middle of a TikTok, smiling, carefree, and full of life. Jeez Louise. That joy turned into heartbreak in April when Anderson never returned home from a trip from Jacksonville, Florida. It broke us. It was hard. It was very hard for us, said his aunt, Monica Tucker. More than 6 weeks after he was reported missing, Florida authorities said Anderson's skeletal remains were found near a retention wall along the St. Johns River, just outside of Jacksonville, in May. Once we got the information that it was him, we had to call family members to let them know it was him. Tucker told 11 Alive Anderson had traveled to Jacksonville to meet a man he'd been talking to on a dating app. Oh, plot twist. When it came time to come home, Anderson never boarded the bus. Concerned, his family began looking for a man he had gone to meet. According to Tucker, his story didn't add up. First, he said he didn't see him. Then he said they went to the hotel to watch movies. And then he said that he took him to go get some cigarettes. And then he kept saying something about a pier, she said. Despite the inconsistencies, Tucker said police have since cleared the man's name. She also said that Anderson was diagnosed with schizophrenia 3 or 4 years ago, but had been taking medication. He would never hurt himself, and he knows how to swim, so there's no way. I think it's foul play, Tucker said. As of Saturday, Anderson's cause of unaliving or passing remains unknown. The Clay County Sheriff's Office in Florida confirms detectives are continuing to investigate the circumstances surrounding his passing. Oh, man, that's sad, bro. That's definitely sad, dog. Y'all got to be safe, bro. You have to be safe. SSB called them a cancer. He said they don't work. Zero said they're from pygmies. You guys have to be careful with meeting people, strangers on the internet. It's a dangerous game for sure. Have to be careful. Got to use your gut feeling. Next thing next. Dan Patrick, he criticized Bronny about not showing up to Luka's extension ceremony.
Luka signs a contract extension, 3-year deal. I think it's 2 years and then an option.
And prayers to that young man's family for sure.
And you had a lot of players who were there. LeBron was not there, although he FaceTimed Luka. Here's the one curious thing about all of that. Now, LeBron, I think, was posting that he was playing golf at the time on vacation. I'm guessing that he knew this was going to happen. But, okay, you're on vacation. The one person who I thought should have been there was his son. Like, Bronny James, if he wants to stay longer after LeBron leaves, like, that's your teammate. That's what was surprising. Bronny James should have been there. You're the last guy on the roster. You should be there. Show support. It just felt like, hey, my dad's LeBron. We got a vacation. I mean, that's where you say, Dad, that's my team. That's my teammate. And if LeBron doesn't want to be.
This man Zero hates LeBron James, bro. Let me say this, bro. I've never heard a radio segment about the 15th man on the NBA roster, the last man, the last two-way contract guy on the NBA roster. But Bronny doesn't have a two-way. He has a full standard, which is kind of crazy, but I don't want to sound like I'm hating. Clutch, don't send the Escalade. Don't send them same SUVs y'all sent Teague. Teague apologized an hour later. I said, goodness gracious. Don't send me them SUVs. But I've never heard anybody have this expectation for a bench guy. So that was it. It's not hating, it's facts.
Be there. It just feels like there's, a game going on, the passive aggressive, who knows, European League, back and forth. I'm working out at the old Clippers facility, and here we go. You should be there. It's important. But as it was pointed out to me from somebody with the Lakers yesterday, Luka is the face of the Lakers. LeBron's the face of the league. And they both play on the same team. But as I was told last night, hey, make no mistake about it, it's Luka's team. And LeBron knows that. But there's nothing else he can do. Because if he was going to do something, he wouldn't have signed that contract extension. He would have said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bookend this. I'm going back to Cleveland, and I'm going to win another championship there. If it's about winning and you want to have the final say in all of this, you could have. You don't want to lose that address. You want to be in Los Angeles. All your business ties are there. Your family's there. You're there. Be there to support Luka. Now, I know it's not a big deal, but with LeBron, it's always a big deal. Everything becomes a bigger deal because he wasn't there. Bronny should have been there. Dad, I'm going to cut short this vacation. I need to be there. I think it's really important. As LeBron, if that's my son and he said that, I'd be like, all right, son, you're right. You should be there. But if LeBron FaceTime Luka's fine with it. I mean, I don't think there's any acrimony there. But I think it's awkward. But I also, when this trade happened, I said, if Luka wants to be the best player in the league, all he needs to do is look at LeBron James and what LeBron does to get ready for a season. If Luka does that, Luka can be the best player in the game. And we've seen what's happened this offseason. He's gotten in his best shape. And
how are you going to be the best player if you don't play defense? Why does everybody ignore that? I don't think any type of conditioning workouts, I don't care how much weight you lose, be on a cover of Men's Health. Like, if you don't play no defense, how you going to be the best player in the league?
For a couple more years, he's probably going to be eventually the first player to make $80 million.
But Jokic doesn't play much defense, and he's the best player, so I guess that makes sense, huh?
In a season. Almost $1 million a game. That'll be the next contract here. Probably in 2 years when he signs another extension, it'll be for probably close to $80 million.
Then Bronny could show up to that one. I don't know. It's just never been a big deal for the end of the bench guy. Did he show up to the? I don't know. To me, it's just never been a big deal. It's only a big deal now because it's LeBron James' son. Just like everything else with Bronny. Okay. To the WNBA. Annie Costabile came with the biggest plot twist of the day in the league. The $325 million offer made by a group led by Steve Palukia was accepted by the Mohegan Tribe and presented to Kathy Engelbert in July. It was never presented to the WNBA Board of Governors. Everything was supposed to go to the WNBA Board of Governors, but it didn't. It just went to the commissioner, who reportedly beforehand, before I even read this story, had some issues with the team just moving to Boston. She had issues with it because she wanted Boston to wait in line and become an expansion franchise as opposed to just moving with the team that was already existing. So we'll see what happens. The league is based off of ability anymore, not popularity exactly. The Sun are going to Boston. We'll see what happens. If Kathy Engelbert's player hating and she didn't do the right way of order of going through the Board of Governors and everything like that, instead of just taking all the power in her hand and be like, no, we ain't doing that. Multiple sources tell Front Office Sports that the $325 million offer was made by a group of Steve Palukia, was accepted by the Mohegan Tribe and presented to Kathy Engelbert in July. This is by Annie Costabile of Front Office Sports. Over 2 decades after Mohegan Tribe bought the WNBA, to Connecticut is actively pursuing the sale, but the league appears to be intervening in the process. So she's player hating. There it is. Player hating, confirming Kathy Engelbert. She don't want the game to be great. She wants to control. You ever work with somebody who just wanted control? It's smarter to move the Sun to the Boston. Last year proved that. Yeah. Just move them. You move them to get there earlier. You don't have to worry about all the expansion details and this and that. Here we go. The record $325 million offer for the Sun was made by the Boston Group, led by Celtics minority owner Steve Palukia, was already agreed by the Tribe in early July. Multiple sources familiar with the deal told Front Office Sports the offer, which included a future $110 million investment into the practice facility, which subsequently presented to WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, was never brought to the league's Board of Governors. The exclusivity period expired nearly a month, opening the door back up to other inserts. Oh, she's hating. She didn't even tell them. So then the month-long period expired. And it opened the door back up for other interested groups. She doesn't want them to move to Boston, included one by former Milwaukee Bucks owner Mark Larcy. Sources said the Larcy Group, which is pursuing to keep the team in Connecticut, is considered to be an active competition for Palukia's bid at this stage. The WNBA has the power to force a sale to a Connecticut-based buyer. Wow. In which case, the Mohegan Tribe would cooperate, according to the Boston Globe. The WNBA did not respond to an email from Front Office Sports asking why the league would force the team to stay in Connecticut. Ooh, the heat is hot. Ahead of the Suns game against the Liberty on Sunday, team president Jim Rosati spoke to the media at a press conference on the status of the team's potential sale. I can't really comment on what the league may or may not want for the Sun, Rosati said. I will reiterate that they've been thoughtful about what they wanted the league to go and having ownership groups that are invested at the right level. I can't imagine that there's an investment group at the right level in a great city. Why would you not consider that a viable option? The Tribe paid, she said, I can't comment on it, but I agree with it. I want to move to Boston myself. Why don't we just do it? The Tribe paid $10 million to purchase the Orlando Miracle. They subsequently relocated the team 1,200 miles north at Uncasville, Connecticut in 2003, marking the beginning of professional basketball in the state. Both the sale and relocation were subject to the approval by the WNBA Board of Governors. Petty for Annie to write that in this story, as is the case now with the Paglucia led group. The WNBA released a statement following the reports of Pag's group had bought the Sun, which emphasized Boston was not one of 12 cities to bid for an expansion team in the most recent process. Cleveland, Detroit, Philadelphia were granted expansion teams for a fee of $250 million apiece. The other 9 teams the league said remain under consideration based on the extensive work they did as a part of the expansion process and currently have priority over Boston. She said, wait in line. You wait your turn. Multiple front office sports sources criticized the WNBA's statements because it appears to suggest the league might force the Sun to sell to a buyer of the league's choosing. During the press conference announcing Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia as the WNBA's next 3 expansion cities, Engelbert made the point to call out Houston directly. Houston would be up next for sure, Engelbert said in June in response to a question about the timeline for evaluating bids. There might be some opportunities there. Bring back the comments, 100%. Based on the prior operational standards as they pertain to expansion and the sale of individual franchises, the league statement, which conflates the 2 processes, is confounding. While the league has control over expansion, individual owners and ownership groups have always had control over sale of their franchises, aside from the subject of approval to the Board of Governors. Quote unquote, I can't speak where the team is going to go, Rosati said on Sunday, but if Boston was an option, it's hard to argue that they're not a city that's viable for a WNBA franchise. The league office did not immediately respond to a request for comment from the front office sports. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It's smarter that they moved to Boston last year. Prove that. Yep. Kathy needs to be fired regardless. Yeah, she's power tripping, dog. She's, according to this, allegedly, according to this, she's reportedly power tripping. Next up. But she wants that money too. Because it's like, I think it was like, you know, they, even though they're buying the franchise for $350 million, I think to move it's like $70 million. Versus like if you do an expansion team, you have to pay $250 million. So she really wants that $180 million. But as an expansion franchise, you got to wait a whole nother long as opposed to just buying a team that already exists and moving it 2 years later. So she really trying to get the most money out of it, but it's a power trip, bro. Like, stop killing the vibes, bro. Like, let's just move. You're going to get your money regardless. Look how Kathy's dealing with players for grievances. 100%, man. So, but yeah, as you guys know, or if you might not have known, okay, the camera is going off again. So we are going to the laptop camera for the rest of the stream. We're just gonna do that. But yeah, as some of you guys might know, Kennedy, the Kennedy that's now in their RFK, he has been pushing for a while to get rid of all unhealthy food choices. If you're on food stamps, you don't need to be eating no junk food. If you're on food stamps, you don't need to be eating the affordable stuff to stretch out your food stamps if you got food stamps to feed a family of 4. They officially have approved that and passed that into effect right now. So it's pretty much saying poor people can't afford the luxury of getting ice cream. Poor people can't afford the luxury of getting snacks or sweets, whatever the case might be. Zero said that's great. I don't think it's great that you're forcing people to eat something just because they can't afford something. Healthy, it's expensive to eat healthy.
Since my confirmation, our department has encouraged states to think differently and creatively about how to solve the many health issues facing Americans. One way is by not allowing taxpayer-funded benefits to be used to purchase unhealthy items like soda, candy, and other junk food. The number one purchase by SNAP recipients is sugary drinks. SNAP is a supplemental nutrition program meant to provide health food benefits to low-income families to supplement their grocery budget so they can afford the nutritious food essential to health and well-being. That is the stated purpose of the SNAP program. The law states it, and President Trump's USDA plans to deliver on it alongside our partners at HHS. So today, I'm proud to sign 6 more waivers for Florida, West Virginia, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Colorado. This is in addition to the waivers we've already signed for Iowa, Indiana, and others across the country. I continue to encourage states to be laboratories of innovation. Think through how you can promote healthy families and healthy communities. And because of our historic partnership, USDA and HHS, and the visionary leadership of the governors here with us today and of the states represented by the signings, we are doing something about it. These SNAP waivers are just one piece of the MAHA effort. We work so closely together to encourage voluntary commitments to remove artificial food dyes, among other things, from our food supply. And together we are crafting sensical dietary guidelines for Americans that prioritize whole, healthy, and nutritious foods.
So yeah, my thing is sugar is just about as addictive as drugs. Like the dopamine you get from sugar is like the same dopamine you get from a lot of the other kind of crazy stuff. You can't just cut off people's sugar. So it's like, okay, we want to make America more healthy. We want to cut down on all the diseases and things of that sort that come from the foods. You can't just take the foods. You can't just up and take the foods. Big Nate was handing. Fresh off the WWE, huh? But yeah. You can't just take people's sweets and delightful treats. You can't just, we're going to take this. Y'all need to be healthy. Folks going to tweak out. It's going to be an ugly transitional period to get to the healthy. I don't know, bro. Hold on. No one's citing sugar. You just can't use food stamps. That's how it's going to be. But it's just like, but the whole point of it is kind of like soft. It's soft rolling out, getting rid of it altogether, in my opinion. That's what I see this as. We're going to take it from the poor people first, and then we're going to take it from like everybody else. Because the president, right, is known before he was president as like this successful millionaire businessman and things of that sort. That joker, he shaped like dang Mr. Krabs with his shell off. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not a money thing. It's not like only the people in the hood is obese and out of shape and got all these diseases and stuff. It's rich people. Like you see all the time a rapper or entertainer or something like that eating noodles, eating McDonald's. We in the drive-thru. I still eat at McDonald's. They brag about it. I still eat McDonald's. I still eat Waffle House. Yeah. So it's like, it's not just a low income thing. It's, I think, obviously habits started off by low income, and sugar is so addictive that you can't quit. So all I'm saying with this is, I don't know how they're going to do it, bro. It's like the USDA messed up, and now they've had to sit in it since 2000, for the last 30 years. They had to sit in it. You say it's not about that? I think it's about that. I think they are soft rolling, changing everybody's diet because they've just messed up the health of so many people. Even though some people might be like, oh, well, they still want that for Medicaid and everything like that. Second, it's disingenuous to say people use food stamps only to buy sugar. 100%. 100%. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like me and Zero said earlier, if I have food stamps, say I have $200, $300 worth of food stamps this month, right? And I have myself and 3 kids. So it's 4 of us. 4 people I gotta feed. It's about $300 to feed us. I'm pushing 300 if I get healthy meals, healthy meal prep, everything like that for the whole month. If I get some sweet stuff, sugary, stuff that's gonna spoil my appetite, so I don't have to eat a full meal and eat a full balanced diet, everything like that, say it cut me down $50 to $250. I still have $50 to spare just in case I need to use a food stamp. Or, man, see, I don't want to, sound federal, but if I need to do what I need to do with that other $50, if you know, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case might be. And so a lot of people are going to do that. They're going to cut that extra $50 for health and go, okay, we're going to go frozen dinners, this and that, because that's cheaper than us just going full meal prep with my full $300. I want to be able to spend $250, feed the whole family for the couple weeks, and then still have 50 left over to do whatever I need to do with that. If you know, you know. So I say all that to say yes. A lot of people who use food stamps will buy a lot of unhealthy foods. Let me see. Buy some fruits if you want sugar. That's crazy. Fruit is expensive in a mug, bro. Fruit salad. I feel like I'm having a grown-up conversation. I ain't having like a grown-up conversation in a minute. Fruit salad is expensive than a mug. And if you make fruit salad, like you got to finish that. Like all the fresh produce and stuff, you got to finish that in like 5 days. Like that's crazy, bro. And it'd be $15. It'd be $15. You got to finish it in 5 days. If I get this sugary thing, I could throw it in the freezer. I could eat it whenever I want. I could get me a pack of Snickers little ice cream, throw it in the freezer. It's August 4th. I could go back to it December 15th for a Christmas party. Bring it out. Feed it to my guests, man. They had this one lady with 4 shopping carts with none but sweets. That's ridiculous. Let me see what Nate said. It's okay we have food that's recalled because of this and that, and that's not addressed properly still. No, 100%. 100%. But like I said, bro, I feel like the food department really just messed up. And they messed up 30 years ago. But did they mess up or did they do it on purpose? They did it on purpose. I want to say they didn't know it was going to get this bad, but they had to know they did it this bad. They did it on purpose. I don't know. They just messed up our health, bro. For 3 decades, dog. How many of y'all done lost some folks to some stuff, man? You know what I'm saying? Diseases. It was on purpose. There you have it. We all done lost people these last 30 years over the foods that they put out, sent to us and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's sad, but it's like, I think zero doesn't think that this is the soft launching of taking away all the stuff. I do, though. I think it's the soft launching of them trying to Michelle Obama this thing. What I think of who you think benefits? Oh, Big Pharma. Oh, yeah. 100%. We all sick. If we all sick, we all constantly gonna be in the thing, man. We all always sick. It's sad, man. I don't want to diabetes, etc. 100%. I don't want to spend too much time on it because I feel like I end up getting a little emotional, things of that sort. This was something, man. Now I want to, before I play this and get too far into it, I do not know if I can get in trouble for what somebody else said, but I played it on my channel. So I want to, I guess, preferences, put a throw out. This is Eddie Griffin saying this. This is not me, Rashad Milligan. I'm not saying this. Eddie Griffin had the show, obviously, with Malcolm Jamal Warner back in the day. And at a recent stand-up, he said he doesn't believe that Malcolm Jamal Warner drowned. Whew, that's heavy. If we eat healthy, Big Pharma makes me money. Yeah, they don't make money. They don't make money if we eat healthy. But yeah, this is something. It's 1 minute. Everybody else said goodbyes and everything like that. Eddie Griffin said, I don't think what happened, what they said happened.
Jesus, really? Bill Cosby's son. But both his sons are dead. Cosby did something dirty. His real son dead, nigga, and his TV son dead. That's a connection, nigga. I don't believe that man drowned.
Oh, they think. Oh, wow. I don't know why I was expecting him for this to be a conspiracy or why they killed Malcolm Jamal Warner, but like, oh, okay, that is a take. How y'all feel about that, man? I don't know if y'all can hear it. I don't know if y'all can, but he pretty much just say Oh my gosh, dog. He said he pretty much just said he thinks that he ain't died like that. Like it was a setup because of Cosby. They killed his real son and his TV son. What y'all think about that? That is a take, bro. That's a bold take. He said that on stage in the era of cell phones, so he knew it was gonna go viral.
I don't. But it ain't gonna fix shit. But nigga, it's too suspicious. They had too many different stories. Him and his daughter was out there swimming early in the morning. How come the mama wasn't there? That's number one. Number two, just so happens to be a doctor on the beach. And then his daughter was not in the water. She was on the beach watching her father swim. Somebody make it make sense to me. Now, nigga, I'm trying to figure out what they want to kill him for. He's the nicest motherfucker on earth.
He's saying the context of why they're going after him. He's saying it's because of the symbolism of Cosby. Like so they took his real son. Now we're gonna take your TV son. So that's what he's saying of why they did it. That's a take, bro. That's a take. Like I said, once again, it is all that's Eddie Griffin saying that, the comedian, not Rashad Milligan. Cover me legally or God by my soul. Don't sue me for 100 bazillion. What Cole said, I ain't really got it here. Throwing thousands with Drizzy. Difference is I'm throwing 4, he throwing 50. Lord forgive me saying you a rapper. Ain't you supposed to? I don't see anyway. Jid said this to Dime. First of all, I've seen Dime's name before. I'm not even gonna lie, and I never seen his name. I've seen his name before, but I haven't heard his music, or I don't remember hearing his music. So anyway, he's going back and forth with Jid, and Jid tweeted and deleted this. Dime said, "Get off my page, all flow, no quotables. You a diet Kendrick. If you can tweet me, you can rap. Until then, shut up." That's my last tweet. He said, "I'll never rap against you. You are trash. I'm in your city, and they love me more than you. You hurt your career. You hurt that your career is cooked, and we both the same age. It's time to cut the locks and start changing oil. If I'm a diet Kendrick, your whole life is just a diet." Your stomach growling as we speak. Be a man. Oh my gosh. So he said they already destroyed Cosby image. So unless I'm missing something, I don't see why. 100%. That's a great point. That's a great point. Why would they continue trying to break down Cosby if Cosby's already been broken down? Ain't no one been broken down like Cosby. I ain't gonna hold you. But yeah. Jid is really protecting his rollout. He's got his album rollout going on right now, and he's really been protecting it. He doesn't want any beef. He's been saying, please stop beef. He's been anti-beef this entire rollout because he wants to protect the rollout. A few weeks ago, Nick Grant, my boy Mo, shout out Mo knows, he pointed this out to me. He called him out and said, "I'm a better rapper than you." And Jid has been ignoring that because once again, he don't want nothing to get in the way of people talking about his album.
On Twitter,
he doesn't want the beef overshadowing his album. But people keep coming at Jid all types of ways, man.
if somebody said, it ain't a nigga on this earth that can rap with JID, not one. And Nick Grant Music, he retweeted that with 5 baseball caps.
I should have put 10.
Yeah.
I think he got his people that like him.
Mm-hmm.
I just think I'm better.
You're supposed to feel that way?
No, I just think I'm better.
Yeah.
I'm meeting it because of the money, the music. Unless there are people capable right now, the way Jid has in the last 5 to 6 years. You want me to show you? I can show you. Yeah. All right, I'll show you. I'm always for the rap. It's a sport. Any dude on the court, I'm like, hey, let's hoop. Yeah, you show me you better than me. You show that's so dope. I've never seen any of you in a battle, so now I'm sitting here like I don't even know who to pick. Nick Grant. And shouts out to Jid. I'm from Atlanta. Y'all know I'm from Atlanta. I say it 80 times every live. Nick Grant like that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Jid like that too. But Jid got like probably the best flow, bro. Like Buddy said, like you got flow. Even when he dissed him, he complimented his flow. Jid's flow is sensational. But like the stuff that Nick Grant says, and you can understand it first. It's personal preference. I still rock with Jid though. I'm telling you, put your money on me. I'm telling you, don't lose your money because you never seen it publicly. Nah, I never seen my money get lost publicly. He said, okay, yeah. Give me a line, he said. He said records, line, albums. He said, nah, give me a line. Give me a phenomenal line that dude said. Oh my gosh, do we have voicemails? Oh, he said he dope. I know he's just talking. He said, I'm just talking. If you want to, I'm not just talking because I'm always prepared for whatever. But yeah, I don't know. He dope. I'm not taking anything away from him. People really come out to what this man be saying, bro. Did he come out? He said, no. That's crazy. Let me guess, copyrighted music. Yeah, I just muted it. If Don was a better rapper, he would be out of here. I'm not a big fan of Jid, but he can spit 100%. That's you know what I'm saying? He got a couple songs. Yeah, they were playing music, and I didn't want to take the chance. It was already a Today Show clip played earlier, and I was like, oh my gosh. Because they got me out of here for last night's live. Like, that has been deleted off of YouTube because of the Daily Show. I reacted to Charlamagne talking about Trump on there last night. And Joe Budden. The JBP got me out of here too. This is the thing she said, he's just not into you. I wanted to read it. Being a female software engineer used to feel like a flex until I went to a rooftop party, after party during LA Fashion Week. The rooftop was full of models and multimillionaires. One man that I met owned a $110 mansion. Gosh, Lee. But I lived in a smaller West Hollywood apartment. She talking about I lived in a smaller West Hollywood apartment. That's about $100,000 a month too. Where's Hollywood expensive than a mug? California is expensive, bro. When I told him I was in software, he just nodded. Then I met a woman standing next to him, an Asian girl, a few years older, who looked strikingly similar to me. Same body type, same features. She was quiet, soft-spoken, and didn't try to impress anyone. She was a newscaster, and he was completely taken by her, not lustfully, more like smitten. In a room full of models, he only had his eyes on hers. She didn't lift a finger. He took care of her. Meanwhile, I spent years. Oh, man. Pick yourself up by the bootstraps, lady. What are we doing? It's okay to have these thoughts and these feelings to yourself. You don't journal. Like, bring back journaling, bro. Why did you post this? Don't post this, bro. Never let them see you sweat. You can cry, you can break down, you can say, oh, it's been a tough road, but don't get specific to the point where you're saying, I spent years lifting all the fingers, building a career to support a future family, but that night it hit me. Being a high-earning woman in a male-dominated field doesn't always reward you. It can subtly penalize you. Poor baby. I'm being penalized for being a man. Man, I'm not gonna say shut up because I respect women. Shout out women, but that's crazy because the truth is, career girls often feel guilty of being taken care of. So we go 50-50. We overperform, and sometimes the girl gets taken care of. Stop playing victim. In 2025, I want everybody to stop playing victim. If you're watching this right now, stop playing victim in 2025, bro. We not doing that. We not doing that. We not playing victim. If something ain't work out the way you want it, boo-hoo, oh well, that's life. You don't get everything you want in life. Move on to the next thing. I'm speaking to myself as well, Shot. Uh-oh, hold on. Sounds like one of those female erotica books. Charlamagne the Coon. Instead of trying to make a beef, let's do music together. 100%. 100%. But yeah. This is crazy, though. He didn't want me. He wanted the girl who wasn't doing as much. Oh, this say satire. Try not to take these opinions seriously. Is she backtracking? Is she just making this up? He wasn't attracting to you. Has nothing to do with education or profession. Did I just get trolled? I might have just gotten trolled. For Asians, a college and career is a no-brainer. If you don't achieve it, you are a disappointment. Cultural differences are shown. I went to college to provide my single. I hate Twitter. Oh, no, I think she's serious. But anyways, y'all don't play victim, bro. If someone don't want you, bro, it is what it is, dog. But don't be like, how come all the good girls, how come all the bad guys get an opportunity? and all the good guys like me just get passed up for the bro. Stop it, please. Keep your dignity while you still have it, please. Shedeur Sanders has been named the 4th string quarterback on the Browns' unofficial chart of the season. And if you saw the prior reports, the Browns are going to get rid of at least one of their 4 quarterbacks before the regular season starts. So if you do the math, 2 + 2, they currently have Shedeur 4. They're going to get rid of one of the 4, and it happens to be right now Shedeur Sanders. So right now, if the preseason ended right now, Shedeur Sanders would get cut and be a free agent and go to the next team of his choice. This is ridiculous because everything I've seen, the highlights, the numbers I've seen, I know he missed 1 day of practice with a elbow or shoulder, something with his arm. Every other day, he's hands down look better than this kid right here, the Dylan Gabriel kid that was drafted above him, which was ridiculous in the 3rd round or whatever. Yeah. It's one thing if you can't control it, but if you have the choice, victimhood mentality needs to go 100%. Yeah, this is sad, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like Cleveland just once again they shown Cleveland being Cleveland, bro. Like you can't run a franchise, bro. They just mess up everything. So you take Shedeur. First thing he say on the phone, "Hey, buddy, work. Hey, if I take you, you gotta work, right, bro? What? A way to welcome me to the city, and then you have the owner come out. It wasn't my decision to pick him. What is going on right now? He clearly outperforms this kid, the Gabriel kid, and you got him at 4th string? Get out of here." Shedeur Sanders' preseason begins buried on the Browns depth chart. This is by Charlie Shrella of the Buffalo's Wire. Shedeur Sanders has battled since getting drafted in April to make a name for himself on the Browns roster, but so far has not happened. After sitting out of practice this weekend with arm soreness and missing valuable reps, the Browns released their first depth chart of the season and wasn't promising to where Sanders stands in the quarterback competition. The former Colorado Buffaloes signal caller was listed as the Browns' number 4 quarterback behind Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and fellow rookie Dylan Gabriel. Sanders' performances so far during training camp would suggest that he has not been the 4th best quarterback on the roster, but rather one of the top 2 options. Crazy, right? Here it is. Hold on, let me see. Like Buddy said, you can't see. Offense versus QB. There it is. Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders. Crazy, man. It's real. All right, go back to it. Given that preseason games don't see starters for that long, Sanders might receive ample playing time on Friday when the Browns face the Panthers to open the preseason. The Browns also – why did they sign another quarterback? They also signed Tyler Huntley, who was with the Cleveland last year, which may indicate Kenny Pickett or Dylan Gabriel, who are both dealing with hamstring injuries, won't play this week. That was stupid. That was dumb. I don't care even if they got hurt. Like, you still got 2 other quarterbacks. It's just they're okay with being mediocre. Have to be. They just love like not running things the right way. Why'd you draft the kid if you ain't want the kid? It's ridiculous. Duke Dennis, some light stuff. If you guys don't know Duke Dennis, the owner. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me get to Nate before we move on. Let me get to Nate on this Browns thing before we move on to Duke Dennis. Light stuff for Duke Dennis. The owner knows he's screwed. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed. They weren't patient with Baker. They dug him a grave with the Deshaun contract, and now the Browns are the Browns. And there you have it. Myles Garrett says, trade me. They said, we got $1 gazillion for you. He said, I love Cleveland to life. Cleveland, this is for you. And now Michael Parsons trying to do the same thing, and Jerry ain't budging on it. Yeah, you heard about the whole fiasco. So Duke Dennis, for the people who didn't know, the A&P was doing a video in the mall where they were playing hide and seek, and Duke Dennis got arrested for it. And yeah, so it went viral, his mugshot and everything like that. And now A&P, they're back in their respective apartments, places, homes, and they are reacting to the Duke Dennis thing. So this is something lighthearted at the end to cool off after some heavy topics in the stream. Let's get it.
They saying free Duke, yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Thank you. Yo, chat.
Bro, look at the way this man chat moving, bro. One day, y'all.
Damn, son.
Phantom Troop 1, Phantom White Fleet, Phantom White Fleet.
Yo, bro.
Damn, son.
The shit that be happening be so funny because it be like,
damn, son.
It be like
WT.
It be like you ever had like, who in the chat is from New York? Who in the chat is from New York? First, I need to see this. Who in the chat is from maybe the East Coast? How about that? Who in the chat is from the East Coast? That situation is a you dead ass moment. Like that's like a you dead ass moment. Like I swear, like that situation is a you dead ass. Like that's that right there. I'm telling you, bro. That's what that is, bro. It ain't nothing crazy. It's just a whole like it's just a big ass like you dead ass. That's what it is, chat. Or the mother chat. No bullshit, bro. That shit anything, bro. That shit anything. That shit not serious for me. It's for me. Word chat. Word chat.
You don't own the mall. You can't just run around in the mall.
It's definitely a see, I don't speak on legal shit, bro, ever. You know what I'm saying? I let whenever the person that was involved in whatever situation, which is not really a situation at all, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? They gonna word chat. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing crazy.
That man ain't say a thing for a minute and a half. He ain't say Nathaniel. I'm looking like, man, he gonna say something. He ain't say nothing.
Take a damn mug shot like this. That nigga trolling. Then they got in trouble for playing hide and seek in the mall. Yeah, that nigga like he committed a kick though. When the crime don't match the mug shot, check. They got him for playing hide and seek in the mall. This nigga like he did 2 kick those and had 4 switches. Why Duke take a damn
Davis?
Everybody in AMP is good, chat. Everybody in AMP is good. Do not like nobody is. Everybody in AMP is good. I see a lot of concern. I appreciate everyone caring. Everyone is good, bro. So there is nothing to worry about when it comes to the guys. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. That whole situation is dead ass. Literally.
Hey, see what I'm saying? Hey, imagine being asked what you was arrested for, and dude say hide and seek is crazy as a grown man. And Duke the oldest. That's the craziest part, bro. And it's funny because Duke is usually too cool to do everything. Like he's one, I can't be doing that. I can't be doing it. You know, he'd be like, I'm too cool for everything. I'm too cool for that, little bro. I'm cool. And you got jammed up for playing hide and seek, running in a mall. Crazy.
Stupid. I'm not gonna talk about it because it's you know, when it gets a legal thing, I just don't want to do it. That is literally a stupid situation, gang. That is a stupid situation. Bro, like everybody in AMP is good, chat. Everybody in AMP is good.
But yeah, so that's Davis. So that's that with that. And then I had another thing from my boy. We reacted to him again. Shouts out to TP. TP posted it. 4L, Savage, all them boys. Nudie dropping on Friday as well.
Overthinking this.
Shouts out Eastside PDE.
Start because you were
Lil Harold.
careful. It started the first time asking once got you ignored. It started.
Red saying. All right, here we go. Overthinking is just abandonment logic.
Overthinking didn't start because you were careful. It started the first time asking once got you ignored. It started when what do you want for dinner was never really about dinner. It was about reading the room, predicting the tone, gauging their mood like weather forecasts, because saying what you wanted got used against you. You weren't indecisive. You were collecting escape plans in your head because no one ever came back when you asked them to stay. You don't overanalyze because you're anxious. I could just take that off you. You overanalyze because your memory's full of ambushes, and the one time
You making me feel anxious, and the way he's speaking, I understand it's the delivery and the delivery getting people hype and keep them engaged for the content. But geez Louise, I'm feeling like my blood pressure running up watching this.
analyze because your memory's full of ambushes, and the one time, the moment you relax, you were left. So now you just prepare for pain like it's an event you were expected to host. You're not indecisive. You're a historian of abandonment. Each thought is a reenactment of where it all went wrong. Each silence is a grave you're not trying to dig again. And they keep telling you to just trust. Really? Really? But I don't even get where they're coming from with the shit because trust wasn't a lesson you missed. I saw you in that class. It was a wound you memorized. So now you script every conversation before it happens. You write 5 versions of every text. You reread the sentence they never replied to, not because you care what it meant, but because you know what it felt like to be left without a reason. I'm telling you, this shit get me hot. This is a tough one because I'm telling you, it's a tough one to deal with out in the world because overthinking isn't really even the problem. It's just the costume your survival wears to look intelligent because if you look smart enough, maybe they stay. Whoo! I'm telling you, I be talking sometimes, be feeling shit in my back.
Hey, yo.
But I want to let you know, if you predicted the goodbye, you start thinking if you predict the goodbye, maybe you won't hurt so much. But I can remind you just as much as I remind myself in the mirror. You still flinch when it came, didn't you?
Yeah, he's a rapper. His name's Cypher J. He's a rapper.
You've been auditioning for safety in your own head for so long, you forgot what your real voice sound like. And I just want you to get it. Oh, you don't stop overthinking by yelling at the thoughts. That's not how you stop overthinking. You stop by finding a version of you that had to guess what love meant and giving them an answer this time. You stop grieving the decisions that you were never safe to make by choosing out loud, even when your voice shakes. Even when your voice shakes. I just want to tell you this because healing don't mean the thought stops. It just means that you finally believe you deserve to say what you actually mean. That's what it is without needing to guess the ending first. You're not broken. You're just too good at surviving silence. And it's just time that you say what you wanted and stay long enough to be heard.
I ain't gonna lie, but he brought it. Is this Deshaun Ra? Bing, bop, boom, bing, bing, bop, bada, bing, bam. Oh, anyway. But he was talking at the end. He was pretty much just saying what he said was he said it's like walking into a room in a conversation and you lost the whole time. This is what he said. Follow me. He said that people overthink. You overthink because, hold on, walk with me now. Reading comprehension time, Rashad. People overthink because they have a fear of being abandoned. They have a fear of failure. There we go. They have a fear of failure. So that's why they overthink because they think, oh man, if I say the wrong thing to this person, they're going to leave my life. They're going to walk out of my life just like ABC did. And he said, healing looks like saying what you want to say just off the strength of saying what you want to say. So it's like people who hesitate on what they want to say. Should I say this? Should I say this? A lot of times it comes from insecurity or like survival mode, fight or flight and things of that sort. And that's a good point. It's a good angle. It was just the way that he broke it down was like, hey, brother, recognize, realize. If the trees and the birds and the leaves and the scene, then who am I as a black man to go to the roots of the ground? You know, so it's like, yeah. Don't we experience this in any situation? 100%. 100%. But that's what he was saying. He was saying like us overthinking comes from just survival and abandonment. And fearing to be abandoned and things of that sort. So it's a nice message. But he did go like all around the world for it. And like you said, I was lost at the beginning. But at the end there, he brought it home. He was talking. 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish. It was a good message. It reminds me of that old Young Gravy song. 1 dot, 2 dot, red dot, blue dot, gravy so hard, made them wanna make the food dot. So yeah. But yeah, that's all I got for tonight, man. I gotta go to sleep because I gotta go to the office in the morning. It's the last office day of the week, and then I'm hitting the road for the rest of the week. We'll be on the road for the rest of the week with the lives. But my name is Rashad Milligan. SSB, welcome back. He was here earlier tonight. Nathan Snell. Big Nate, appreciate you for stopping by, showing love. Game Day Grace, my brother David, Deacon David Sheely, and Corey Moles. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to them. An amazing podcast that they do. Who else we shouting out? It was this person that was like Schnell and Roses, or no, it's like Sparkle and Roses. She dropped by the chat. Shouts out to her as well tonight, showing love. And yeah, that's it. I think that's all I got, right? My name is Rashad Milligan. This is the road to 10K subs. Please make sure you sub up because I'm here each and every single day going live. What time? I don't know. It just depends on the way the wind blows of the day in my schedule. But until next time, appreciate all y'all for participating in chat tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.
Rashad, why you
anyway.
didn't hit me up? What's up, Rashad?
Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
Brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.